Hey guys, how's it going? Just wanted to come out and give you guys another video of mine that I hope you will enjoy. But first, I had a couple announcements and a question for you all. My announcement is that I will probably not be uploading videos every day at 12 anymore. I'm thinking of changing that, which follows with my question, which is, what time do you guys prefer that I upload these videos? Because I know not everyone likes to have them uploaded at 12. Maybe there's a different time you guys prefer, so if you wanted to comment below and tell me what time is good, that'd be nice. Also, I'd like to thank the 21 of you that have subscribed currently to my channel. That's pretty awesome. I pretty much have only had this for like a week and a half. At least it feels like a week and a half that I've had the channel, and already 20, so that's pretty cool actually. So, thanks for watching, and then I'll just get into the story. So this is another story from 6th grade because it seems like, now that I look back, a lot of shit happened in 6th grade. I guess there was just so many new kids that it was just an influx of new people and we had to kind of get used to everybody that was showing up. So the friends of mine that are watching this that were also around then will probably understand what I mean, but my school did not get a lot of new kids. Basically, the original kids that we knew from kindergarten were pretty much the ones we grew up and knew up until 8th grade at least, and when we got new kids, it was kind of crazy because I guess the school didn't really get many new people. And so it was like a private school, and there wasn't like a ton of people there. I think in my class, meaning like in 6th grade, my grade of 6th graders, there was like 30 or 50 kids, 30, 50, 60, one of those. Pretty different number. I'd say 60. And so it wasn't even that big. It was like a really small private school, and it just kind of felt normal after a while to me. And I really didn't understand how someone could go to school with like 100 other kids in their grade. That sounded crazy, even more in public schools and stuff. And so whenever we got a new kid, it was a big deal. That's like one whole 60th of the population of our grade of kids we hung out with because we didn't want to talk to older kids because they were either scary or weird. And we didn't want to talk to younger kids because they just sucked. They're just boring and like, what are they going to do? So when someone new showed up, it was a pretty big deal. And this time, this is the kid whose name was Mitch. We're going to call him Mitch. And he came to the school, and he was pretty weird at first because for a private school kid like me, I didn't really hear a lot of swearing. I guess my parents didn't swear a lot, and I didn't have like an older brother that swore. So I'm saying like curse words like fuck, shit, ass, all those. So basically, this kid, what I'm getting at is he used to swear a ton. So every time he would say a sentence, I guess it was just where he's from, he'd be like, oh man, these fucking this and this shit and this fucking A. And I was like cringing every time he said it because I'm like 11 years old. And I know for a lot of people that was probably a normal thing for them, but I went to a private school where we all grew up kind of slow. So like just hearing those words was kind of weird, and I would keep cringing, and it made me not like him at first. So already you can see I was kind of a baby back then, and I'm assure you that I'm different now. But so this kid was like swearing like crazy, and then not only that is he would always get into like mini fights with like my friends. Like one time he like really got mad at my friend, and he like pushed him or something, and my friend got super pissed. And he was just like, "What the hell, man? Would you do that for?" And then Mitch is like, "Oh, fucking A, I want to fuck." And it's like, "Okay, well, what are you doing, man? What are you shoving people for?" So it's like he already set himself up as this kind of mean person, and I didn't really get along with him that much, but I never really did anything about it because he never personally did anything to me. And then one time he kind of went overboard, and he was fucking around with some aluminum foil, and my friend Jacob was there that I talked about before, and sitting at the table, and this kid just like rolls up the tinfoil and fucking shoves it into my friend's eye, and just like it didn't obviously stab his eye out because that would have been horrible, and I wouldn't be telling a funny story about that, maybe. But so the dude fucking stabbed tinfoil into my friend Jacob's eye, and Jacob's like, "Oh fuck, what'd you do that for?" And the guy's just Mitch is just laughing like, "Yeah, fucking shit, man." And I'm like, "Okay." So that's fucked up. So I got pretty mad. I'm like, "What the fuck, Mitch? What'd you do that for?" But I didn't say fuck because back then that was forbidden. So I was like, "What the heck, man? Why'd you do that?" And he was just like, "Oh, I just thought it was funny." And so fucking that made me pretty angry. And then I remember we had like a climbing rock in our yard, so we would always climb up there and hang out because we were the older kids at the time and we could like climb the rock, and we had upper body strength unlike the younger kids. So we would go there to stay away from the younger kids, and we'd hang out on top of the rock and just talk to each other. And so Mitch was up there with Jacob and shit, and he was like saying all these cuss words and stuff and making fun of one of the teachers. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get back at him." And this was my idea of justice. So I went over to one of the yard duties that I talked about before, those fucking part-time teenagers, and told them that the kid was using swear words, and they were like, okay, sure. And then they just told me to go away. And then they told the office, and then Mitch got in trouble, and I was like laughing to myself, like, haha, I did it. And I was like, geez, looking back, not the best way to tackle problems, but literally any fights in the school would have resulted in like really big consequences because they crack down on fights. There's like so little amount of kids that it's like they have concentrated punishment. They don't have, it's not like a public school where you, well, I don't know. But anyways, that's why I probably didn't fight him until now, because what happened was is he went up to my friend whose name is Sean. It's not really Sean, but I'm calling him Sean. If you haven't noticed, I'm giving everyone fake names. But he went up to my friend Sean one time, and he was the one that he pushed earlier. So he was like kind of referring to that, and they were talking to each other, kind of angry, like, "Oh man, what the hell, man? Why'd you push me?" And then Mitch is like, "Ah, fucking pushing you and shit." And then Sean was like, "Dude, that's not cool." And then Mitch just gets fucking angry. I don't remember what happened, but like Sean said something that just set him off, and so he goes in like a rage mode and like just starts choking my friend Sean right in front of me because I'm there too, just watching it. And then I go into like beast mode, but not really, like 11-year-old beast mode. And I just look at like Mitch being like choking my friend Sean, who I've known like my whole life. And I'm like, I gotta back this guy up, like in the movies. And so I run up to Mitch and I just like gut punch him in the stomach, and then he keels back over and like is on the ground like freaking out. And then I push him away, and then I grab Sean and like run to the part-time people, and I'm like, hey, this kid was getting choked. And then Mitch got sent to the office, and Sean was cool, and he was like, thanks, man, that was pretty badass. And I was like, yeah, dude. I didn't actually say that, but I was like, yeah, man. Or I was like, okay, cool. And it was a pretty big deal because not a lot of fights happened, although maybe my future videos will probably be about the fights that I got in, so I might have been in most of them, for all I know. But not a ton of fights happened, so when any kind of physical altercation happened, everyone was talking about it. I'm pretty sure it's like that in most schools. So back in the classroom, everyone was talking about what happened, and they were just like, fucking Mitch, man, he's crazy, going off on Sean for no reason. And that's pretty much it. But I think he left for the next year and didn't come back. He lives like out of state now. For some reason, Jacob still visits him, even though he shoved tinfoil in Jacob's eye. But that's a different thing. I don't know why that happens. But anyways, thanks for listening, and tune in next time for when I talk more probably about fights in 6th grade.